Good morning, everybody. It's Javier, and I'm super excited to be with you here today to share with you important news and information that can help you grow your business, elevate your overall success, and most importantly, grow your income. I think that, excuse me, I think that we're going into some challenging times economy-wise, but it's not the end of the world. And so it's important for you to learn how to monetize your life insurance license, especially when what we do matters more than ever before, especially with rates going up, which is a great thing for our side of the house because of the simple fact that that means caps are going to go up. People are going to make more money on their annuities and IULs and so on. So it's a good thing. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to start by just making sure that if somebody has a camera on, can you give me a thought? Can somebody mute themselves and just let me know if you can see the Mediterranean?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I just want to say we are back in town. I'm back in town. I got back this past Thursday. I had an excellent time in Europe. We were there with FFS as part of our Dream Destination 2022. And I've been on a bunch of these, 15 over the last 15 years and 21 when you count the company before FFS. And I'm telling you that this was probably the best one we've ever had for the simple fact that the destinations were incredible. And so I'm not going to sit here and bore you with all the details, but it meant a lot to me to be, excuse me, in places like Barcelona with the team and seeing people have the trip of a lifetime. And I just want to challenge everybody to make sure that you are there for our next one as well. I can't tell you just how much it meant to me. And I've been, like I said, on a bunch of these things. And it was, in my opinion, the best trip we have ever had. I want to congratulate each and every member of our team that made it. And like I said, we had a smaller group than we usually do, but that was due to a lot of different factors. And so my goal is to get as many people qualified in the coming months for our next dream destination. So it meant the world for me. And it would mean even more if you could please join us on our next one. And my recommendation, don't ever miss another one because of the simple fact that not only is it magical for attendees, but spouses are there and it stretches our vision like nothing else out there. And so I just want to thank FFS and congratulate each and every one of our members that made it there as well. And every member of the company that did what they had to do to qualify as well. I have great news I'll get to it, but I have great news as it relates to marketing. One of the things I've been pushing Marketing Boost to do for years now is to open up a location in Cabo. And we have never had Cabo. We have Cancun, we have Las Vegas, blah, blah, blah. But as you can see here, starting this coming week, we are going to add Cabo as one of the destinations as part of the Marketing Boost program. And this is 1,200 plus retail value, depending on the season that you go. And it's an incredible resort. You can Google it. YouTube it, Playa Grande Resort and Spa. And I'm telling you right now, this is excellent. If you have anybody that likes to travel, they like the weather, fishing, golf, shopping, spas, anything. This is an incredible resort, 8 acres, beachfront property. And so anyways, if you are part of Marketing Boost, get ready for this coming week. It's going to be released. And so this is my wish that I've been pushing for a long time because the beauty about Cabo is literally an hour and 45 minutes or so away. And if you haven't taken a vacation certificate redemption for yourself, I recommend that you do that. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a game changer because it's the magic of Cancun with an hour and 45-minute flight. When I go down there, I usually go for free. I use miles, I redeem points. I usually have to pay $40, $30 in fees and taxes for the flight. And that's it. And so even if you do pay full fare, the beauty is that we've got a ton of discount airlines. You can literally take everybody's favorite airline, Spirit, down there for $75. And for me, for a getaway like that, hell, I'll stand for an hour and 45 minutes if they let me for a $50 flight. Especially when you go to places like this, you don't have to worry too much about packing too much stuff. You're not going to need a lot of clothes. And so, again, I'm just saying that this is something that everybody here needs to understand what a big deal it is, and then leverage it. Use it to monetize those annual reviews and many other things that can elevate your overall success. Any questions about this? If you don't have Marketing Boost, well, that's been pretty silly because I'm telling you right now, it can make a tremendous difference in your income. Go to marketingcertificates.com, marketing certificates.com. Open up a free trial before you even pay. They make you go through a trial, which is pretty cool. And you can actually issue yourself or anybody you want as many of these certificates as you want, including the one you see for Cabo, all as part of your free trial. So become well versed in that tool. That is a powerful tool that's underutilized by far. And I hope that you are not part of those people that are not leveraging it, because it's going to make your life easier. Any questions about this? I want to pause here for a second to make sure if anybody has any questions about anything regarding this. Anybody? All right. Well, I'm going to continue. If no one has, as you can see, I have a very scratchy throat this morning. But anyways, like I said, this is something that I encourage everybody to learn how to leverage. Like any other skill, you have to learn how to leverage the power of Marketing Boost. And until you do, it's just another expense. But once you do, man, talk about spending a penny to make a couple of dollars every single time. It's an incredible, incredible deal. Also, I want to take a moment to congratulate all of our qualifiers for our Champions Dinner. We do believe that this is a Champions Dinner because, well, that's where champions go to eat. We're going to have it this coming Tuesday. It's by invitation only, and it's very simple. The qualifiers are going to join FFS President Vince Rocos. We are also going to have the FFS Director of Sales, Andy Cohen. They're both going to be at the event. They didn't fly from Atlanta in Ohio all the way to California just to have a meal. They came here because they're part of our master plan that we came up with at the Specialized Market Summit to make sure that everybody here has everything they need to take their business to the next level. I don't want it to be on me, on you, or on corporate. And corporate is doing their part, as you can see here, by coming out here and listening to you. So it's not about just come down and share a meal. That's fun, but it's about you coming down there and telling them what exactly you need so that there are no excuses on anyone's end as to why your level of income and success isn't where you want it to be. Very, very important. So I want to congratulate all of our qualifiers. It was based off the first quarter of production. Technically, we went into the fourth quarter, the fourth month, but I just want to congratulate Daniela. Daniela ended up with 42 applications. Knock had, I believe, 34. Excuse me, Alan, I believe, had 28. And it just simply continues with our top producers. So congratulations to Daniela, Knock, Alan, Kathy, Mr. Hatter, Reggie, Foster. And I'm going to pause here for just 1 second with Reggie. Reggie, that I know of, the very first person to get back in and do an actual staff meeting in person. Even most staff meetings today are held via virtually, via Zoom or what have you. But Reggie actually, Reggie, are you on? I don't know if he's on. I haven't seen his name, but he did go in there and conduct a live one, and it was a very productive one. You know, the way we grade ourselves as to how good of a presentation we had, not by the level of interest, if you would. A lot of the times people say, you know, I felt good and I got good feedback from the attendees. That doesn't mean squat. All that matters is how many appointments you generated. If you come out of there and you feel good and you generated 0 appointments, maybe you shouldn't feel good. You have to analyze what could I have done to generate more appointments. That's what it's all about. And Reggie did a great job. He actually generated 17 appointments on the spot with very well qualified prospects. So it's not just a matter of him and his team running those appointments the right way, following up, because the fortune is in the follow-up. And so congratulations, Reggie, on a job well done. The same thing with Mr. Joseph Chung, Jefflin Dangerfield, and congratulations to all of the qualifiers. So let's give them a round of applause on a job well done. And, you know, what they do have in common is that they're taking the action that sometimes a lot of us are not. Very, very simple. Success always leaves clues. So just look into what they're doing and then simply emulate it or copy it, and you'll get the same result as well. On a separate note, we were talking the last webinar I did about liability. We were talking about claims and a bunch of other stuff that I want to follow up with today. And that is the importance of making sure that you go out there, and when you could have an issue, whether it be with the carrier, with FFS headquarters, or anybody, that you don't let your guard down, because the way it works here at FFS, like in any other company, we're not employees. We are all independent contractors. And I had an issue with an annuity that I was going back and forth with the carrier. The carrier ended up dropping the ball, and when the carrier drops the ball, they love to take you and throw you under the bus. And corporate, a lot of the times, does the same thing because they don't know any better. And so we went back and forth with this issue on an actual annuity. And you're in trouble or potentially in trouble when they start referring to things as you can see here, a failed application. And so what they're saying is that you didn't do your job somewhere, even though for me, that wasn't the case. And so we ended up going back and forth. The case ended up getting denied by NLG. We went ahead and then they got FFS involved. And of course, like anything else, they tell them their version, their side of the story. And sometimes FFS believes you, sometimes they believe them. It doesn't really matter. You should always be on guard to making sure that you're taking care of number one, of course, which is you and your family. I appealed it. I replied to it. It ended up getting to the point where basically NLG just said, just give us their mailing address because we're going to mail them a check. And they warned FFS that it was probably going to end up being a lawsuit. Of course, FFS turns around and tries to throw me under the bus. And I went ahead and did a proper response liability-wise, which you should learn how to do. And, as you can see in the email, they wanted to caution me to ensure that my E&O insurance was active with no gaps due to the tax consequences that this person may incur or will incur because they liquidated her account beyond the rollover period. So now she's left with a lot of money that they're going to literally send her a check in the mail, and all of it is taxable. It's going to be horrible. And so there's a fair chance that she will register a formal complaint or file a lawsuit. It's unfortunate for all of us, but what they're really saying is it's unfortunate for you because you're an independent contractor. And so to make a long story longer, I did a more than formal response in such a way that I threw everybody else under the bus by basically laying out why I thought that she did have a good lawsuit and that I was going to probably be the star witness against NLG, National Life Group, and the carrier. And if anything, corporate before me, because they failed to acknowledge the issues that I had brought up throughout this process. And so the person left holding the bag here was not going to be me. But if that's the route they were going to go, then, I was going to go, I was going to go ahead and dust off my suit to wear for my trial as a star witness, not as a defendant, because NLG's pockets are a little deeper than mine. And anyways, ended up going back and forth. Not too many emails, because when you lay it out clearly as to what you intend to do, there's nothing else for anybody to do but to simply say, go for it, or whatever the case might be. And then all of a sudden, I'm pleased to say NLG decided that the best solution for the client is to make this case whole and issue the policy with the amount of the check plus surrender charge, blah, blah, blah. They agree that the agent did disclose the fees up front and that they made an error by initiating the transfer despite the charges. And so what they're really saying is it's cheaper to just simply make that person whole and issue the policy versus having to pay for the lawsuit with the star witness being myself. And so all of a sudden, we're supposed to celebrate this. So I gave them a piece of my mind and told them that better not happen again, for the simple fact that I will throw them and throw their asses under the bus quicker, that the head will spin because of the fact that I never did anything wrong and I didn't appreciate trying to be made a scapegoat, which does happen, but it shouldn't happen to you. So be on your toes. It is what it is, and that's it. So anyways, going back to what I was telling you, leverage the power of these things, especially we're going into this part of the year where it's important for you to conduct annual reviews. Industry-wise, we suck at it. We probably do 2% of the annual reviews that we should be doing every year for a lot of different reasons that I'm not going to get into. But I'm telling you, just like I'm telling you, the economy is going to go to crap and we're going to go into a recession and rates are going to be just incredible. I mean, I'm not going to get into that conversation with this company, but interest rates are going to be doing a number on a couple of industries, but they're going to be helping our industry a lot. So learn to leverage this. Now, why do you think people don't conduct the annual reviews? Any thoughts? I do want to get your thoughts. So please, let me open this up at this point. Why are we horrible as an industry? Why do we suck so much when it comes to doing something as basic and an annual review, which, by the way, is part of keeping yourself out of lawsuits. And if you do end up in a lawsuit, it is part of winning the lawsuits with the annual reviews. Why are we so bad? Anyway, anybody?
I don't know. In my opinion, I don't think we put enough importance to it, because a lot of agents have the tendency to just, sign somebody up and then move on to the next one without going back to the existing client. And that just opens up the door for surrender charges, all kinds of bad stuff. So yeah, I agree with you. It's important.
You're right on, because that's exactly how it happens. When somebody comes in, they replace your business, you get chargebacks, you get bad mouth, and so on. And one of the things that I will tell you is that personal production is good, but if you're going to do personal production, learn how to master the power of taprooting. And that's a class I haven't done in over a year, so we'll do it in the next week or two, where after a while, if you're still going through all the hard work of generating first-generation clients, you're not going to make it. You're not going to last. You're going to go crazy, because I will be the very first to tell you that I don't care how much personal production pays. It gets old after a while. It gets very old. And on top of that, it's time consuming. And so the more personal production you do, the more time it consumes. And so for me, if I am going to be a personal producer, I'm going to leverage the power of taprooting. And if you haven't formally gotten certified in the world of taprooting, you better learn how to do it. You will never have a shortage of business, number one. Number two, it gets easier and easier as you taproot further down. And most importantly, the business stays on the book. And so if all you're doing is going, from staff meeting to staff meeting to staff meeting to staff meeting, that is one hell of or any other type of just first generation clientele. That's like being on a treadmill going at 5 miles an hour. You might be able to sprint for a little while, but you're not going to sustain it. And so I just want people to not just make money, but have a life, a very good life. And part of that encompasses, of course, how you get your business, how you generate your income, anything else. Any other thoughts on annual reviews? Anybody?
Can you please give a quick definition of taprooting?
It's very simple. Simply, taprooting just simply means that when you're going, most people go wide, meaning they're getting first generation clients. So you do a meeting, you get a sale, you're so happy, you high five yourself, and then you go out there into the big bad world trying to look for a second client, and then you do it again. And taprooting simply means going wide until you can learn how to go deep. And so you have to master that because I'll give you an example. If I have 5 clients, before I go get number 6, I'm going to come and try to go to generation 2 of one of those 5 clients. Because once I go to generation 2, it's easier for me to say, look, listen, as a matter of fact, Bob, that's exactly how Mary, who referred me to you, used to feel. And one of the things that she liked about this program is the fact that the living benefits are there, blah, blah. And so in other words, when you start to go deeper, they start to refer you the business, and it runs itself. And so you're just simply an order taker where you're literally just submitting applications, running illustrations. But for most people, remember, most people are not where they want to be production-wise because they either refuse to, or I'll even have a slide to show you why people are not making the money that they want. And one of the things is that if people, for whatever reason, don't do it, taprooting, aka leapfrog, here we got somebody just put up with it. Taprooting, aka leapfrogging, is basically where you reach down into your downline and connect with, coach, and mentor those who you teach, in addition to your direct reports. And that is true, but the same exact thing applies towards what? Your clientele. Because I'll show you, I'll do the class next weekend, and you'll see how I've done it, where I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And I'll show you names, actual policy numbers, and before you know it, as I'm taprooting people down, $500 policy, $600 month policy, $300 kids policies, and the production follows. But the difference is what impact it has on you. Again, personal production can get old eventually. And especially if it's costing you so much effort to start from scratch. I have to establish rapport with you. I have to establish the trust. I have to establish my expertise every single time. That's what eventually burns people out. And I'm not a big fan of that, because I believe in not just success, but I want it to be what I refer to as perpetual success. It just keeps continues and continues and continues year after year after year. You don't want to be eventually where you just faded out, you burned out, and there you go into the history books, and then somebody else comes along, takes your place. And I've seen that about 1.3 million times in my 16 years now with FFS, and plus the other companies that I've been in. And so I learned it very quickly that it's not the amount of money you make, but the quality of life the money you make allows you to have. And that's why I am such a big believer in taprooting as well. So anyways, that's kind of, for whatever it's worth, what I'm referring to right there. Also, here's what I wanted to talk to you about. Here's what describes most of us, if you would, trying to make it out in the big bad world. I'll give you an example. I was talking, this week has been a busy week, even though we just got back Thursday from Europe. Been getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of text messages, a lot of communications from people in the real estate world. And it's amazing how many people in the real estate world are packing up their stuff and they're moving on. And so what I'm telling them is that if you think people are packing up and moving on right now in the real estate world, wait till November. Wait till November. Wait till the CAR, which is the California Association of Realtor, and of course, by extension, NAR, the National Association. Wait till a lot of people who haven't figured it out during the boom try to figure it out in tough times. It's going to be decimated. But the good news, those that have been doing good will more than likely continue to do good, primarily because of taprooting, referrals, and so on. And those that haven't cracked the code during easy times are going to get crushed and killed during tough times. And so it's just cyclical. It's not the end of the world. Very cyclical. I just go with cycles. I don't fight the stream. I don't fight anything. I just go with the flow because you will always lose. But for many people, for most people, the reason that good times in the real estate world came and went was because of what you see here. There are things I like to do, and then it merges with things I'm good at. And then, of course, outside of that comfort zone lies the things that make money. And then somehow me as human beings, we find a way to draw this bubble or whatever the hell you want to call this with things I really do. They just don't matter. And so somebody was asking me, what did I think about should they continue on the real estate side? And I was like, well, I think just by you asking me that stupid question kind of gives you the answer. I mean, first of all, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't wish any ill on anybody. I don't rain on people's parades, but I'm not stupid either. And I do realize that if there's been a time to really focus on FFS, and remember, and going back to the '08 mess and everything in between, FFS has been here, will always be here. And part of the reason I love, if I'm going to invest and try, and I mean try, because most people don't try it, but if I'm going to try to make FFS work, for me, it's because I know that it runs opposite to what most people think. We've never had a bubble in the life insurance industry. We've never had a collapse in the life insurance industry. When rates go up and kills the real estate business, guess what? Our business flourishes because now our caps are a lot higher. People are making a lot more money on their money. And people say to me, how about when rates are low? When rates are low, we do take a huge hit with the products, but the life insurance element makes up for that as well. And I'll give you an example. Look at the last couple of 8 years, historically low rates. And guess what? We flourished. And now we're about to go into some really good times. So having said that, part of the reason that Vince Rocos and part of the reason that Andy Cohen, the director of sales and the president of FFS, are going to be here is because I'm going to be meeting with them earlier in the day. We're setting up a program that's going to be by invitation only because of the rising rates. One of the things that I know it's going to help explode is going to be Kaizen. And so you mark my words, just like I've been telling you things regarding COVID and pandemic, and like I'm telling you, the real estate gig is up and all this other stuff, where the puck is going. And I say that not to sound arrogant, but there's a gentleman by the name of Wayne Gretzky. What's his nickname? Anybody know his nickname? What do they call him? Nobody knows Wayne. He's a
great one.
What's it?
The great one.
The great one. He's not the good one. He's the great one. And that should tell you a little bit about the guy, even if, like me, I'm not into hockey. I have been to a few hockey games. I can't say I watched a damn game, but the great one. And one of the things that I've always taken away from that guy is what he says, what made him the great one. I gave you a hint. What did he say made him the great one in hockey? Anybody? Come on. We got to have somebody who knows this.
He goes to where
He's always looking at where the puck is going, not where it's been, but where it's going to be going.
You got it right, but I think Anthony had it even better. Anthony? I thought that was Anthony.
Where the puck is going to go.
Yes. He's not looking, he's not thinking, he's not anticipating what the puck is going. What is he doing, Anthony?
Going to where
He's going. He's moving. And so I'm telling you, where the puck is going right now, in one of the places, there's 3 key places that I'm not going to get into, but one of the key places where the puck is going is anything having to relate to Kaizen, premium finance and financing. They changed a couple of the rules now that has opened it wide open. And so what we're doing is we're going to have a few people that are by invitation only. And the reason that it's by invitation only, if you haven't, for whatever reason, produced on the regular IUL side, annuity side, you're probably not going to produce on the Kaizen side. So we're going to be putting a special webinar, and we're going to be inviting people that are basically producing to be part of the Kaizen, where the average commission is a lot higher, case amount a lot higher, and many other things a lot higher. Because I'm telling you right now, I haven't up until this point, I haven't leveraged it myself, because while some people have been making a lot of money, whether it be Victoria Lee does a lot of that, Shirley Liu does a lot of that, the top earners in the company do a lot of that. It just got a lot better. So we're going to do a private workshop. We have it to the point that either they're going to come to us, not FFS, but the carriers, or we're going to fly to their headquarters at our own expense, because it's an investment to really turbocharge the Kaizen side of the house. And so you'll know who you are if you get an invitation. It's not open to anybody that raises their hand type of thing. And if you don't if somebody does reach out to you, inviting you to it, and you want to come, just come to me, send me an email along with your amount of production since January 1st. That's the key thing. So just say, hey, 12 policies, 50,000 in target premium, $2 million in face amount this January 1st, 2022. And then we'll take a look at the numbers to see if you can come in and be part of that. Because otherwise, I don't want to confuse people with multiple things. I just don't do that. I don't believe in that. But I don't want anybody left behind that is already doing something. This is not intended to inspire you to get around to doing something. It's inspired to elevate your current level of success. And so that's why that is so. Also, one of the things that we're going to be putting a lot more emphasis on, and we're going to touch upon it a little bit today, is on a program. And what's really nice about the program that we're going to be working with in the coming weeks is that it revolves around marketing. It doesn't revolve around life insurance or Kaizen or IULs or $1 Million Baby. It revolves around marketing in its purest form. That's what I am. So when somebody tells me that I'm a life insurance agent, I usually have to correct them, saying, no, I'm not a life insurance agent. I'm a marketer. It just so happens that life insurance is one of the industries that I market, but no, don't call me a life insurance agent. Please, I don't want to be a life insurance agent, but I do love to market and generate results with all that I do. And it's based on this great program. I'm going to give you the information where you can go ahead and purchase it for yourself. We're going to be piecing it to you for those that are part of this, but not for those that are here this week, not next week, don't know what they want the week after that, forgot about the webinar the week after that, have to be reminded because they didn't get the text or they didn't get on the webinar. That's not for you, just so you know. These are for people that are consistently putting in the work so they consistently get the money out in the income that we all deserve. It's a great marketing package. It's very inexpensive. It has everything you need. And if you notice, it has nothing to do with life insurance. That's the beauty of it. I think that sometimes we have to unlearn what we have taught ourselves, because I've never taught you to be a life insurance agent. There's a lot of people that when they say, hey, what do you do? Sell life insurance. And how much are you selling? Well, nothing. Well, then talk to me like you're not a life insurance salesperson. And so that therefore, we want to make sure we put up the numbers to generate the results that we want. And so anyways, as you can see, everything here is Canva based. I had 2 people when I was in Europe reach out to me. And when I told them it was Canva based, they didn't know what I was talking about, and one of them didn't know how to edit. When I told them that was your homework, what happened then? Because you're not going to take time out of Europe to give you a one-on-one webinar on Canva, which we already did as a group. It doesn't quite work that way. And so therefore, it's something that we have to take responsibility. If you're over the age of 13, you're going to have to take ownership of your life and your business, and understand that if you are not proficient in Canva, go look in the mirror and blame that person. Because we are going to move at a pretty brisk pace. You are not going to be part of the Kaizen format if you don't understand the basics of YouTube or the basics of Canva, because a lot of this stuff is intended for you to do on your own. No one's going to do it for you, but it gives you great, great results. It really does start and end with digital marketing. Everything here can be customized. All I need to do is click on one link, open this up, and let's just say Canva, and put the word Kaizen in. premium financing in there, or whatever the case might be. Everything is getting taken care of by people that do nothing but what I'm going to share with you. We're talking about the basics, 100 social media posts that you see there that you can customize very easily. And some of them will be customized already that are part of that group that I'm telling you about. You are going to get some of the stuff only if you use it. We usually say, hey, if you want to use it, use it. If you don't. But to be part of the group, we really, unless you're generating results on your own, if you are, then bless your heart, we have some of the best producers in the company that whatever they want to do, they can do because they know how to generate results. But I'm talking about those that want to elevate their overall success. Instagram stories templates that can all be customized to anything. You can see an example of where it says timely. That could be timely as far as time to buy a house. It could be time to refinance your home. That could be time about buying solar. That could be time about life insurance, time about retirement. When you understand the fundamentals of marketing, the graphics do speak volumes, but the message is something you just simply need to fill in the blank. Also about the importance of marketing, which are some of the quotes, blah, 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 and a bunch of other stuff that you see here that we are going to be doing. Also, what I love is that there are 5 ebooks that we're going to break down into classes. We're actually going to go into one of them right now. Now, this is twofold. Understand, one of them is for you to learn this stuff, obviously, and apply it. Instagram marketing for beginners. Well, you should read this book. It's really, really short. But what it also allows you to do is to use it as a way of getting people to opt in your email campaigns as well. Very, very generic. And I mean very generic, that you can just customize with your name as the author if you wanted to. And it says right there, Instagram marketing for beginners, a tutorial, Javier Rodriguez. Pretty cool, because this is just a way of engaging people online. Now, will they read it? Who cares? Will they apply it? Who cares? But there are a lot of people out there that see themselves wanting to learn this for whatever reason, get more followers, become influencers, sell their products. Knowledge is knowledge, and it's in high demand right now. Same thing, Facebook asks for beginners, step-by-step guide to SEO, things to know before marketing your business. And so again, if you're going to do the Kaizen thing, you're going to learn that you will get a lot of business by simply marketing to those that need to market themselves in their business. That's who you want when it comes to Kaizen anyways. And so why not start to work on that right now? That's what I do. I do webinars for realtors, for loan officers, for FFS, and they're not part of my company, but a good portion of them are clients. I just delivered a policy. I met this gentleman at Topgolf, to play, blah, 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 and deliver his policy. And I met him online. He wanted to get one of my guides on how to market, how to elevate his success. Now, one of the things that's really, really sexy right now is, and if you want to be ahead of the curve, is how to succeed as a, let's just say, I'll give you a cheesy title, how to succeed as a realtor in an ever more difficult market. You got to understand, 90% of them were struggling already, and the pond in which everybody was fishing just evaporated. And now there's more people looking in a pond with less fish. And so any hope is greatly appreciated right now. Guide to YouTube marketing. So it doesn't matter what on earth they are trying to sell, a service, life insurance, Kaizen, real estate, mortgages. Well, they know that YouTube is where it's at, but how do you do it? And it allows you to do that. Here's actually a copy of the book right here. Now this, as you can see, this is the cover. Javier Rodriguez presents a guide to YouTube marketing, how to leverage the brain's perception capabilities with video ads. It's really good. And this is actually something I'm going to share with you right now, and I'll give you the link to it as well. And so as you can see, a self-respecting marketer knows that the video is more engaging than text. That's almost a given. And then it goes right into it, how to approach YouTube marketing. Here's why YouTube works. One of the key differences in marketing, most of the clients and most of the recruits I get in multiple industries for multiple companies come from YouTube. What's the one fundamental thing that makes YouTube different than, let's just say, marketing on Facebook, on Google, or on Instagram, or anywhere else? What's the fundamental difference? Marketing here. Anybody?
The person is searching for it.
Okay, thank you very much. The person is actively looking for what you have. I'll give you an example. I had somebody put not want to say a nasty comment, but a negative comment on my video on $1 Million Baby. They're saying, no, that's too much life insurance. Life agents like to do this only for the commission. But I left it alone. I can easily go in there and say, idiot, delete. No, I don't do that. I'll leave it. Let that be part of the mix. He had a good point, by the way. But the only catch is that it's my granddaughter. And I know why I had more life insurance than maybe I would have given anybody else. But I like that. Why? Because, it elevates. The algorithms love engagement. And I guarantee you some people have already responded to him one way or the other, agreeing or disagreeing with them. But that's good because any kind of publicity is good publicity. And that's just the way it is. And so if you're not leveraging the power of, like right now, I'm starting a campaign on May 1st, and that campaign is going to revolve around the struggles of the market, meaning the real estate market, the mortgage market. Most people have no damn clue what's coming, and I know exactly what's coming. And so therefore, I shift like you wouldn't believe because, again, like I told you earlier, I'm a marketer. Why am I going to invest my effort, time, and money in one thing when the chances for success are greater somewhere else? Well, for most people, the big mistake they made is they identify themselves as that position when they should have identified themselves as a marketer. And so anyways, that's a conversation for a different day. But as you can see, there's great information here, how to create a channel, which ironically, most people don't have a channel. They might have a personal account, but you got to have a channel. And here's the beauty about YouTube. You can have multiple channels. I can have my FFS channel. I can have my recruiting channel for FFS. I can have a mortgage channel. I can have a solar channel. Doesn't matter. The more, the merrier. I mean, unbelievably simple to do. Research your audience, do your competitor research, which is what I do. And I love, just so you know, there's probably nobody that plagiarizes more stuff on earth than me. Why am I going to sit here and rack my brain coming up with good stuff when you can literally go into YouTube and it will tell you what people are searching for the most and then do a variation of it? Very simple to do. What are your top competitors doing? Optimize your videos. Start with the powerful title. I just gave you a cheesy that I didn't think about it, which I would make it a lot shorter. But how to thrive as a realtor in an ever increasingly difficult market, or how to succeed as a life insurance agent. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The point that I'm making is that you just have to learn how to leverage the stuff, and books like this can help you do that. And so that's why it's so important for you to know this, because I'm telling you right now, you don't want to end up, I'll hopefully remember my spot here, but you want to get yourself out of this mess as quickly as possible. You have to do that. You got to do this. Things I like to do, things I'm good at, things that make money. As far as things I like to do, I like to learn. That's one of the things that I think has helped me tremendously. Things I'm good at is marketing, because I learned marketing. I didn't grow up as a cop. I didn't have to market anything. I had to learn all this stuff. That's why nowadays it's so sad to think that we are living in an age where information is literally at our fingertips for free. Where one of the things that used to set the difference between the wealthy and the poor, and the ones that did okay and the ones that struggled, the point of it is what? Is that knowledge now, it's probably before every mansion, we used to have a library, when every home that was repoed had a big screen TV. And so here we have the ability to do that, but yet we choose to spend it on other things that maybe are not as productive. And I'm not going to tell people what to do or how to do it. That's none of my damn business. But at the same time, there's never been an easier time to do this. And so, like I said, having said that, I want to give you a copy of this right here. It's very inexpensive. You can go to their website, which most of you saw the link. You can go there. You can get the social media pack or the ebook pack. Well, they're both $29, or you can get both for $39. I just did that. And the beauty is that it can help you in more ways than one as well. Also, before I let you go, I'm going to send you a link just to the ebooks portion, which are Canva based. My recommendation to you for the 5th 5 billionth time. If you're not proficient with Canva, get proficient, become proficient. Doesn't mean you're an expert, even though it's not that difficult at all to become an expert. But again, if you don't know how, go to youtube.com. How do I use Canva? And better yourself, because I'm telling you right now, the old version of ourselves are not going to cut it in the second half of 2022. I think that you're going to see a tremendous bump up in production. You're going to see a bump in income for some people, not for all, not for most. And a good portion of that is going to come from Kaizen, because we're going to give the top producers the opportunity to plug into if they want to. Nobody has to do anything. That's the beauty of it. We live in America, the land of the free. We're free to fail, and we're free to win. We're free to succeed. We're free to whatever you want to do. So it's going to be by invitation only. If you want to be part of the Kaizen program, if you are not invited, but you still want to be part of it, send me an email along with the amount of production that you've generated so far in 2022. It's only open to members of my team. I'm sorry to everybody else that's not part of my team, but it's only open to members of my team, and there are no exceptions. And so basically that's that. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and just share a link with you that is something you can edit in Canva, like I was saying. And I think that it really, excuse me. Let me just see if I can pull this up real quick before it goes away. Links. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the one. Let me see. Oh, here it is. If somebody can do me a huge favor and tell me if the link that I'm going to send you opens up okay, I would greatly appreciate that. You can go ahead and do that. Let me just go ahead and go.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes,
it opened up. Okay, and so what you have there now, that's what I sent you, the link to the guide to your YouTube marketing. What's nice about it is there is one link to the entire Dropbox folder, which I'm not going to give you. I'm going to just share with you the YouTube marketing element so you can study. But also when you click on it, what's really nice is that it opens up, it should open up like this. I go ahead and use it as a template. When the template opens up in Canva, you could literally just go in there and do what I'm just doing right now. Whatever. And as you can kind of see, what I'm doing is in real time. There. I'll change that to be a little more with the right colors. I click bold. There you go. And so as you can see right there, compliments of Javier. There you go, or whatever the case you want to call. And there are the other pages. I mean, there's no need to customize them, but you could go down here if you wanted to and just go ahead and type in your website, your name, your phone number, whatever you want to do. And because we're not selling any products, it doesn't require a license number of anything. We're not looking to sell it in this guide. And the others that we're going to be releasing, including a beautiful book, The Kaizen, that if you haven't read or studied up, go to youtube.com and type in how does Kaizen work. Make sure that you see Kaizen as life insurance and you kind of get your feet wet in regards to that. But we're not going to take you from zero to hero. We're not looking to do that. We're not offering to do that. We've been offering that for about 5 years now. Some was up on the offer, most did not. That's okay. But if you do want to be part of this movement, that's gonna, again, doesn't mean you change what you're doing, but you want to add something that's easier to market because it speaks volumes. The problem is that it just simply doesn't have mass qualifications compared to the markets that we usually market to. We're going to show you how to find the markets that this fits with. I already have 3 people. One of them is coming with 100,000. The other was with 200,000. And in one fell swoop, we're going to leave them ready to go for the rest of their life and the generations to come by just leveraging the power of Kaizen as well. Okay, so if the link worked, that's that right there. Excuse me. These are some of the other things that I was telling you that are part of this package, which is the Instagram marketing for banners. And this, by the way, is just the ebooks in Canva. The package or the whole pack comes with everything that you see down here. Just an incredible deal. What I'm going to do is at this point, I'm going to go ahead and wind it down to see if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns before we end it. Any questions from anybody?
Javier, where are you posting the link to the packages?
Well, the link to the packages, I don't have it. Let me see. Well, here, let me just find it. Let me see how I go here. Let me see what I'm going to do. And so what I did, I'm just, okay, now let me just share this so you can kind of see what it is I'm showing, I guess. This, if you just want to buy the whole thing, I mean, which is, what I would recommend people do. I'm just here at this website. When you come here, you can click here and get some free samples. You can come here and see an idea of what this is all about. And this is part of what's called white label, meaning that you can just put your name on it, make it your own, or you can go ahead and just simply leverage the information on them is simply incredible. Now, in full disclosure, I am not an affiliate. I belong to a lot of opportunities where I'm an affiliate. I get a piece of the act. This is not one of them. I just came across it, blew me away, bought one, bought another. I bought just about every package that they offer. And even though I've been marketing for a while, I can honestly tell you that I went ahead and was blown away. Don't buy it if you already know you're not going to read it, you're not going to use it. Don't buy it. Just save your money. But I sent you the link to the place that I just showed you online right now. That's the whole thing, and you can different opportunities or different industries to market. Any other questions, please? Questions, comments, concerns, anything at all? I do want to wish Mr. Alan Guerra a happy birthday. Alan still is in Europe. We all came back. We're all here working. Alan is in London. I believe he comes back tomorrow. He did it right. After the trip, we were in France, we were in Spain, we were in Italy. Then he ended up taking a train to Switzerland. He was in Switzerland. Then he ended up going over to Paris. And from Paris, he ended up going to London. So he's still there. And so hopefully he comes back soon. Any other questions? Any announcements? Any news from anybody? Any attaboys? Any congratulations to anybody about anything? Anybody on your team doing what's right? Anybody at all?
Hey, the spelling on Kaizen, is that K-A-I-S-E-N or Z-E-N?
No, Z-E-N. K-A-I-Z-E-N. Kaizen.
And that refers to the Japanese term of always improving?
It comes from always improving, but we're talking about Kaizen life insurance. That's what you want to Google. Kaizen life insurance. Kaizen life insurance.
Okay. Kaizen plan also.
Yeah, Kaizen plan, all that good stuff.
I think you can find it on the FFS website too.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right, perfect. Any other questions from anybody? Comments, concerns, anything at all before we wrap it up? All right. Well, if no one has anything else, go ahead.
Congratulations on the trip. What is one tip or best practice you can give to winning the trip? I know you got to do production, but anything that you want to share?
Just determine what category you're going to go after. Obviously, we have the category of personal production. There, you just have to worry about yourself. For some of us, we're in trouble because I know from a personal production, I'm just not going to do the personal production. And then the two other major categories are building a team and getting them productive. And then the third one, which is probably what we used to refer to as infinity, is not just your team, but every of your downline's teams. So for me, George has a great strong leg. Mr. Hatter is another one. Alan is doing great jobs. All three are direct to me. So now that you can compete in the bigger categories where it's allowing you to leverage the power of other people's times, efforts, and expertise. And now, so that's the category I win every year, just about. I've never won personal production, so I don't go after it in that category because it's an unrealistic expectation for me. But I know I can do what I'm doing right now, getting my team prepared to go out there, whether it be through straight IULs or the church campaign or the school campaign or the Kaizen. Kaizen, you mark my words, Kaizen is going to be the game changer from this point moving forward until the end of the year. And it does allow you by far, gives you a great ability to play catch up like nothing else out there, because every policy you do in Kaizen is like doing 20 of the regular ones. And so, we got a lot of people that are doing 2, maybe 3 deals a month, making a couple $100,000 a year. If you put in the time, which a lot of times we don't do that. Last chance. Anybody else?
Javier, another thing that maybe everybody doesn't know or realize is that the way you win the contest is, we used to, the guy that was doing personal production was competing against the Victoria Lees and the Shirley Lews and all the heavy hitters. And those heavy hitters now, because of the way that they're going to do it, those heavy hitters are going to win in other categories, which is going to bump them out of the the personal production. So now the personal producers are not going to be competing against all those heavy hitters anymore. So it's going to be a lot better this year.
Very true, very true. And so that's the beauty of it. It's a very fair way to win it. I was sitting at, where was I? I think I was having dinner. We were having lunch, as a matter of fact, where were we? I think we were some part of Italy. And so there was guests on the ship that had paid for the trip, meaning they were not part of FFS, they were just regular paying guests on the ship. And they were asking me, how realistic is it for people to win? And I was explaining to them, it's very realistic because, like you said, Bob, they start removing. Sometimes they go from the left to the right or the right to the left. And all the people that have teams that are producing and teams, they get removed from this category and placed over there. And so now, even if it's the top 20, they might go to the top 40 because the others qualified in multiple categories, and it elevates you as well. So I think that one of the things you have to ask yourself, and this is a very difficult thing to do, and I'll tell you why. Ask yourself, period, in FFS, what are you going after? Are you going to be a personal producer? And if the answer is yes, then start producing. That's the key thing I can tell you. If you say, I'm going to go after building, well, then start building. If you say you're going to be a personal producer, yet you haven't done any production in the last 30 days, 60 days, I got news for you. You're not a personal producer. So you better either A, get on the ball, if you would, on personal production, or B, start building a team. But if you say you're going to go after the building side, but yet you have nobody, you're not recruiting anybody. And the problem with not recruiting anybody is that there are people who think that to have a big successful team, you have to, if I can just recruit 2-3 good people, which is true, but to get those 2-3 good people, you're probably going to have to recruit around 50 people. And how many of the 50 have we recruited so far this year? Hopefully 30 or 40. But if the answer is no, and I'll give you another big filter, and that'll just flush a bunch of people out. It's the convention. Have you registered for the convention? If you haven't registered for the convention this summer, that just tells me that your level of belief that needs to be here is like right there. That's it. I'm just being very honest with you. One of the things that I will tell you after 15, 16 years here, 20 something with FFS and the practice company, I don't believe in false hope. I just believe that, hey, I'd like people to just be a straight shooter with me. I'm the straight shooter with you. And so again, if you haven't registered, because let me tell you, if you didn't register last year when it was super cheap, you're not going to register now that it's even more expensive because it's closer to the convention. And then we go into a whole different class about the level of belief, internal belief we carry, that if it's not high enough, it won't prompt us, it won't compel us to do what success demands. All right, let's call for questions. If no one has anything else, I want to say thank you for everything that you do. And congratulations to all the qualifiers for the Europe trip, qualifiers from the Champions Dinner. Bring your issues, your complaints, your ideas, anything to the president of FFS himself. So that way I can stay out of it and you can, they can hear from the horse's mouth and address, or just simply attaboy, or just simply, here's what would be nice. Kaizen is the one thing that I've been pushing for. We got it. They're going to mobilize a bunch of resources just for you. And I hope you take advantage of it to get yourself from where you are to where you deserve to be by the end of this year. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you.